Mr. Matlala, let's pick up where we left off yesterday. And we were dealing with the issue of General Sibia. You recall? Let me start here. Do you have your statement before you?
Yes, I do.
And do you have your supplementary statement close by as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. We were dealing with the issue, your relationship with General Sibia, and seeking answers which you didn't provide in your main statement and or your supplementary statement, particularly the question set out in paragraph 2.1 of Regulation 10.6 notice. You recall?
Yes, I recall.
Okay. Now, sorry, 2.2, my error, 2.2, yes, of the notice. We had gone as far as annex, item 2.2.5 of that notice about exchange of information, if you recall. Mr. Matlala?
Yes, I recall.
Okay. And there are other issues set out in paragraphs 2.2.6 and 2.2.7. Now, both those paragraphs required you to, in the context of the relationship you maintain with General Sibia, to speak to whether you have ever given or offered any gift, gratification, monies, sponsorship, favors to General Sibia, that is 226 and 227, inquired whether you have requested or been offered any favors by General Sibia. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
Now, that's going to be quite an involved engagement. So I'm going to stand down that part of the engagement regarding your relationship with General Sibia. And just to let you know, we will come back to it. And Advocate Hassim will deal with that part of things with you at the appropriate time. Okay?
Okay.
So I would like us to move off this topic then, which would lead me to a position you assume in your supplementary statement, if you could turn to that. You recall there are a number of questions posed to you in response regarding the recordings that were made following your arrest, following your engagement or interrogation by SAPS or members of the SAPS in December 2026, as well as following your arrest in May 2025. No, the first year is 2024. I'll try again. In December 2024 and your arrest in May 2025. They are the recordings you refer to that you say have been furnished to you, and you deal with those recordings in your supplementary statement. You confirm?
Yes, I confirm.
And yesterday you have time and again expressed a view that you would not be answering any question relating or arising from such recordings on the basis that you understand that you are a suspect and you are being investigated in respect of matters discussed in those recordings. Did I understand you correctly?
Yes, that's true.
I trust that your exhibit file has been updated. And my understanding is that you were given an assurance by the NPA that you are not being investigated, or such recordings are not being utilized for purposes of investigating you, thus rendering you not a suspect as you feared. Are you aware of the assurances provided you by the NPA in that regard?
Maybe my learned friend can just direct me to the where she gets this information from, this assurance that she refers to, and what does it exactly relate to, or how. I wanted to understand where she gets the information that she currently raises and relies on. The issue of the assurance given by the NPA that he will not be prosecuted for anything pertaining to these recordings. And these recordings, does it now mean it's recordings relating to December of 2024 and his arrest in May of 2025? And does it also include the unlawful recording that was made when he was approached in prison behind the back of his attorneys at that point in time?
Chair, I hear my learned friend's address to you. I submit it's absolutely irrelevant. I've posed the question to the witness, and the witness will answer my question. If Advocate Van der Heever is interested in what I intend to have for lunch, it's a conversation we will have outside. She is not going to preempt my line of questioning. I've posed the question to the witness. I would like the witness to answer.
Chairperson, with the greatest of respect to my learned friend, when you pose questions to witnesses, again with respect, you need to have a basis on which you make a certain statement. And it's all I'm asking, is there a basis that she relies on? And it's not necessary to become aggressive about it. I simply am here to do my job. I'm asking, is the statement that she makes that assurances have been given, does it have a factual foundation? And if so, can we please just understand what the factual foundation is? Otherwise, what we are busy with here, with the greatest of respect, is to try and catch my client at this point with certain statements that made. If there is a foundation for a factual foundation, then just give it to us. There's nothing that says I'm not entitled to ask what the statement is based on.
In the interest of progress, may I make this suggestion, which I think in the circumstances is a practical suggestion. Yesterday we made very good progress with Mr. Matlala regarding broad or blanket attempts at asserting the privilege against self-incrimination. We referred specifically to paragraph 109 of the unanimous judgment of Justice Jafta, and we said there must be specificity as to the crime in respect of which the privilege is being claimed, and then the basis, that is, in the context of that crime, the basis upon which the privilege is being claimed. It cannot be broad, it cannot be generalized, it cannot be blanket. May I suggest, Ms. Sello, in the light of the fruitful ground that was covered yesterday should, in fact, I think at some point I did say that it covers the entire spectrum, which means it covers even the recordings. It cannot simply be said for whatever reason that the recordings are a no-go area. So with that as the springboard, as it were, can I just ask you to, Ms. Sello, to ask your questions that relate to the recordings, and let's see how Mr. Matlala, aware of the legal position I took him through, responds to your specific questions.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Matlala, my question to you regarding those recordings, has the NPA ever given you an assurance that matters recorded in those recordings do not currently form part of, are not subjects of any investigations? Are you aware?
I'm not aware of that,
Okay.
Commissioner.
Then may I refer us to an extra CJC 442. That is the letter Commissioner Khumalo you asked about. That would be file 11. It's now being shared with you, commissioners, and the witness. reference to you or any companies you are associated with, what the court, I don't know where they got the phrase, but termed the Maumela syndicate, and from whom the court requires them to make a full and honest disclosure regarding funds standing to their credit, in respect of which the respondents of which you are not, or any of them, have a beneficial ownership. So there are specific declarations that the entities are required to make for purposes of this litigation. Was that the understanding that you also got?
No, it's not.
Okay, can you share your understanding with us and the basis thereof, please?
I was of the view that all these entities and their directors, they are under investigation.
Sorry, please say that again.
I'm saying I was of the view that all these entities and their directors are under investigation.
Which entities? The entities listed in Annexure A?
Yes.
And on what basis do you form that view?
That why would they want us to disclose our assets and our bank accounts or whatever is in our name if we are not under investigation?
But paragraph 2.13 tells you why the court is interested in those entities. It specifically says those entities must make full and frank disclosure under oath of all assets and all funds standing to their credit, in respect of which the respondents in this matter or any of them are the registered or common law owners, have a beneficial ownership, right, title, and interest, or some other type of real rights therein, in terms identical to those set out in the draft disclosure affidavit. So the court tells you what the interest in those companies is. That cannot be interpreted to suggest that the companies themselves are under investigation by anybody, surely.
I hear you, Commissioner, but I think last time when you said you can extract information because this is not a code of law, even you can get information from newspaper articles or whatever. And I've been mentioning so many articles that I mean from SIU I'm being investigated. So I do not know now because would it also apply to me that from that article that I got from the media or whatever, which I don't have now, which says that I'm under investigation, does it not apply to me?
Which article are you talking about, Mr. Matlala?
It's quite a lot. I can just Google now. I can.
No. In reference to the engagement we are having,
yes.
What article? Perhaps can you guide me?
I'm not in position of a cell phone now that I can just check one for you now. That
okay.
Anything that has to do with Tembisa Hospital, I'm under investigation.
Okay, so do I understand you correctly that because an article suggested you are under investigation, therefore you are under investigation and are not able to talk about the matters the article suggests you are being investigated for? Is that your take?
Yes, but I was not relying on an article. I'm saying this also proved that indeed I am under investigation, or else they wouldn't serve this to me. But beside this document, I'm referring to quite a number of articles that I know that the thing is I've never been approached by, I won't lie to you that I've been approached by an investigator saying that I'm under, I won't lie to you.
Okay.
Yes, I was never approached, but I just know that I am under investigation, which it might be true, it might not, I don't know that.
And precisely, I guess, because it might be true, it might not, articles are known to claim a lot. You have just confirmed that you haven't been approached by any investigator. So it's not confirmed to you personally that you are under investigation.
Yes, but we are using the same articles to claim that I am under investigation. The same way as you yourself, you say you can use articles as evidence in this commission. So I'm using the same articles as well.
Isn't this issue resolved? Mr. Matlala says he has never been approached.
Indeed.
That he's under investigation.
Yes.
That puts the issue to rest, I guess.
I would think so. And I'd say I refer to this document because it was introduced by you.
Of course, yes.
To avoid responding to the question relating to Mr. Maumela and Mr. Kasim. Kasim, yes.
in Commissioner Baloyi's company. Then Commissioner Baloyi's company becomes involved in whatever it is they require information from you about. I do not understand that logic.
Chairperson, maybe I've had the benefit of reading through the actual application and the affidavits that was, because I went to the trouble after we were here to get those. Maybe if I can suggest, I see it's almost 10 o'clock.
But in any event,
I can,
yes.
Because it refers specifically in the order to the set affidavit that relates to the issues of the Maumela syndicate that is discussed there. As I said, I don't want to place facts before you without just going to refresh my memory again on that. That's why I'm asking, maybe it would be convenient.
In any event, what should cut across all this, Ms. van den Heever, is to avoid us debating issues in general. If there is a specific crime with regard to this, in respect of which Mr. Matlala is asserting the privilege, let that be specific, please, in the interest of time.
And
Otherwise, the day will go by without us covering any meaningful ground.
And that's exactly what I'm going to endeavour to do for you during the tea adjournment, to make sure that that is brought to the attention. The client, as Chairperson knows, is a layperson. He doesn't know the niceties of the law when it comes to these issues. So please afford me the opportunity to pull those up and have a discussion with the client.
But whatever you pull up, bear in mind, because a lot may be said, affidavits in proceedings may go far and wide. Bear in mind that what I have referred to in this order, the tribunal's order, shows in so many ways that this is not about Mr. Matlala's entity. It's about someone else owning something in Mr. Matlala's entity. Bear that in mind. So whatever affidavit or whatever you'll come back to us about should not change that, I would imagine. Thank you very much.
Ms. van den Heever, I think the other thing, whatever you are planning to do during an adjournment, is to remember that Mr. Matlala has filed an affidavit in which he has set out why the defenses and the facts, supposedly, that he relies on for claiming the privilege, that is done and dusted. You don't get another chance from the bar to say there's that other document or that other fact that we didn't put before you. We took a break to allow you to bring an application in which you were going to plead facts on which you rely for Mr. Matlala to support Mr. Matlala to support his claim for the immunity or for privilege that he's seeking. You don't get to do that by going now as counsel to go and pull up other documents and then put them from the bar. He had plenty of opportunity and we are past that. We did that yesterday. We have read your affidavit. There's been an answer and a full answer to that. Submissions were made about it yesterday. We are past that, and I think you know that. I expect that you know that he had the opportunity in the affidavit and he made his best case in the affidavit, including in that paragraph 93. You don't get to have a second bite at the cherry from the bar. You don't.
I hear what you say, Commissioner. We will deal with that issue when we return. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And where we struggle to understand from you about money and transactions and suppliers, and you know, it cannot be. You are doing this deliberately so that we go round and round in circles. Yes, you are.
No, I'm
yes.
not. Okay, can you please explain to me what part is it that you don't understand?
Where you suggest that you and Mr. Maumela put money in a supplier's account,
yes,
and you buy for 200. Why are you putting 2 million in that account when you are buying for 200?
But Commissioner, it's not a once-off thing. Remember, we are going to get stock from you now and then. So just in case it happens that at some point I don't have money, but I know that I've got credit in your company.
So you invest in a supplier's account up to 2 million But your RFQ that you won is for 200,000. So the supplier holds that 800,000 until you get the next RFQ.
Yes.
Is that your business model?
Yes.
Okay. So when you get the 10% that you said you called the chair, you said that 10% goes to the supplier's account.
I didn't say that.
Okay, where does it go to?
To the 10%, will share the profit. I said that.
Where does it go to?
To myself and Mr. Maumela.
So how does it get there? Because as Commissioner Baloyi pointed out to you, that 200,000 worth of medical equipment you provide to a hospital or to hospitals, for which the Department of Health will pay you.
I'm talking about profit here. Profit.
You must be paid before you can make a profit. Surely.
Yes, I'm saying the profit. That is the money that goes to my account. The profit. I do not know what part. Maybe you're missing from me. I don't understand.
I'm just a mere lawyer. Maybe these business issues are above my pay grade. Chair, I see it's 2 minutes to 11. This might perhaps be the appropriate opportunity.
Let's adjourn and resume at 11.
Or how exactly, I'm trying to understand how these transactions were happening, and please excuse me if I'm slow.
Commissioner, now we're going deep to the investigation that I was trying to avoid, but which I do not know whether I will be part of or not. So, however, for you to understand much better, I will say it's not like we've opened a neutral company and then have money in the bank for that specific purpose of this business. I will take it from, it will be money that maybe is depending on, it will be either in his account or mine. There was
you pulled as in POOLED, you pulled funds together.
Yes.
And from those funds, if you got a contract, or if he got a contract, each one of you would then take money from the funds that you've pulled together for what's required at the initial stage of performing in terms of the contract you got. So you use a portion from those funds for that purpose.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, and then you say you then pay those funds back into the joint fund, if I may call it that. You pay that back, but you say you would have to pay it back with a profit, as I understand you. And don't nod, please.
No, sorry, I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh yeah, and how would the profit be worked out?
10% of whatever.
10% of what you took from the fund,
Yes.
or 10%
Yes,
of what you would get from the contract.
What you took from the funds, yes.
What you took from the fund.
Which then would lead me to the question, does that become a revolving fund, or is the fund dissolved at some point and you split profits that have been earned by quote unquote the fund? How exactly does it work?
I will, okay, I'm going to give an example again. I will say,
Yes.
maybe you are the supplier.
Yes.
We need to buy stock from your company. So we'll put money in your company. And then whatever we want to buy, we already have credit. So we'll take from stock from your company, and then you will tell us how much is left there. Then anyway, both of us will know how much is left, and then we'll keep on adding money to that account.
It's not exactly what the answer you gave the chair, because you explained that
The profits will get them, yes.
Yes.
No, the profits won't go back to you because you are not part of the business.
How do you split them when you are jointly contributing to the pool?
I made an example earlier that I'll give you an example that I've put 1 million into your account, which you are the supplier.
But in the example you make, I am not Mr. Maumela.
Not Mr. Maumela. You are not a supplier, meaning we buy stock from your company.
Yes.
Yes.
From the pool of funds that you and Mr. Maumela have raised.
Yes, but the money is in your account because you are the one who's supplying us with medical equipment.
No, and
It's easy.
I'll never get it.
Mr. Matlala, you keep going back to, remember in your engagement with Chair, you said whatever profit you make,
Yes.
you must put the money you took out of the seed account. You must take it back, and then with 10%, because the interest you earned is 10%, you put it back into this account,
Yes.
from which both of you can draw. Now, the question Advocate Sello is asking you is that account where you put the money back with 10%, at some point do you dissolve it, or what do you do with it? Not what you pay to the suppliers that supply you with the equipment. The account from which you draw and you pay back money once you've made profit with the 10%. What do you do with that account? Do you dissolve it and share 50-50 whatever is remaining, or what happens with it?
Yeah, that's where the confusion is.
Yes.
The money is not in the account. The money is, we approach you, like I was trying to explain to Advocate Sello, the commission, I'm sorry, that we will approach you, and since you are the supplier who will supply us with medical equipment, that listen, buy the stock for us, and then the money will be in your account. So you know how much you know how you will know how much we will know how much we have in your account. So let's say we have 1 million rands, and then I want a stock that is worth 300,000. So
What happens with the profit? I'm not concerned with what you have put in the profit account. Yes.
Yes, the profit. That's where I'm saying the profit comes back to us, not to the supplier.
I thought I understood earlier that you said there's money pulled into an account. Now, from how you're explaining, that's not the case. And I want to use a practical example. Hospital A wants still water, and they send out an RFQ, and you are interested to submit an RFQ. Can you just explain where does the money come from to buy from a supplier? Assume it's supplier X that has water. Just explain what you're telling us. Where does the money that gets paid to the supplier, where does it come from? And once you have supplied, of course at a premium, so you've got a profit, where does that go? How do you handle that? So start with, where does the money to pay the supplier for 6 bottles of water come from?
Okay, Commissioner, let me do this. Let me start from the beginning, and then just please stop me where you don't understand so that we can have progress. We want to supply, me and Mr. Maumela, we want to supply medical consumables to Department of Health. And we approach someone who's selling medical consumables. That person, we tell him that we will put upfront. I'll give an example of 1 million rands. It's just an example. As an example. In his account. Should I get the RFQ first? Should I get the RFQ first? I'll go to that supplier and tell him, can I please give me stock that is worth 200,000? And he will give it to me. And because I took 200,000.
From where? Where do you take that 200,000 from?
The money is with the supplier, the person who's supplying medical consumables.
Where do they get it from?
Myself, and I said from the beginning that we will take 1 million, myself and Mr. Maumela, put it in the account of the medical supplier, the person who supplies medical consumables.
So from both your separate accounts,
Yes.
each, or you or him,
Yes.
puts R1 million to the supplier.
Yes.
And then? And then the supplier, then you win, you get appointed. The supplier gives you the equipment,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then the hospital, what happens with that medical equipment and the money?
I give an example that, let's say he gave me stock that is worth 200,000. And then when the hospital pays me back that, pays me the money, I have to take back that, the money that I borrowed, which is 200,000.
Mr.
So
Matlala.
you borrowed it from whom? I think
It's not my, it's not borrowed, it's my money, of course.
Yes, I think that's what we are trying to understand, that we all understand, Mr. Matlala, that you must pay the supplier. We accept that. Take it, we understand that part. What is confusing, at least for me, is when you pay the supplier, there are 200,000.
Yes.
That money comes from your bank account,
Yes.
or Mr. Maumela's bank account.
Yes.
That's what you're saying,
Yes.
right? So you get that. And then you supply it to the hospital. Let's say it's a hospital. You supply it to a hospital. And it's 300,000 now when you supply to the hospital. You bought for 200 and the hospital pays you 300.
Yes.
You now have 100 rand profit, or 100,000 rand profit.
Yes.
How does that get dealt with? It comes into your personal account?
Of course, yes.
And then what happens?
And then Mr. Maumela will get 10% of that profit.
Okay. All right.
Because I failed to prove, which I take it, what the chairperson said, that it does not prove that I'm a suspect, and I take it. I failed to prove that. So does it mean that entirely I am not a suspect just because I failed to prove that I'm a suspect, or I might be a suspect? I'm saying this because I do not want to waste the commission's time. So I will prefer that if it do, I'll continue to comment about Maumela's my relationship with him. However, I want to understand that whatever that I think is under investigation, do you still expect me to comment on that? Because I couldn't prove that I'm a suspect, though I know from what I heard from different sources that I'm a suspect.
Mr. Matlala, as I understand the position, you sought to demonstrate that you are a suspect by producing the document that Ms. Sello took you through, and including us for that matter. We have also demonstrated, and you now accept.
Yes, I do.
That document does not show that you are a suspect. You are not barred. This commission is not barring you from demonstrating that for C, D, and E reasons, I am actually a suspect, and based on that, I'm claiming my right to privilege. So do not understand what we engaged you on just now. Do not understand it to mean that we say you are forever and ever not a suspect with regard to these issues, the issues under discussion now. We are not. But we are saying what you produced as proof of you being a suspect does not bear your claim out. Do you follow? I hope that answers you.
That I take and understand.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. With that understanding then, Mr. Matlala, can we start discussing your relationship with Mr. Maumela? Like I said, it would assist if you began it when you started with when that relationship began, and you define or you describe that relationship up to date. Thank you. Then we'll take it from there.
Yes, I will. I think that I first met Mr. Maumela, I think I'll be around 2015, 2016, somewhere around there. 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
Thanks.
And my relationship with him, it was because both we have passion for sports cars. So there is this restaurant that we both we used to frequent in that restaurant somewhere in Sandton. So we used to meet each other there, and then because I like this car, and then that's when we started our relationship, because of the love of cars.
So would it be fair then to conclude that you are friends with Mr. Maumela and you share a passion for sports cars?
I conclude that, yes.
Do you have any other relationship with him, including business relationship or any relationship that leads to any one of you benefiting financially?
Yes, we do.
Can you tell us about that?
We were, both of us, we were in the, I wouldn't say it's a tender, but it was, what is it called? Not a tender, but let's just say, for the lack of a better word, I'll say a tender, but it's not. Like when you get the RFQs, it's not a tender, it's something else. I don't know what they call it.
Well, call it an RFQ.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yes, we used to do that together.
What? Like a joint venture or something? In what form did you do it together?
Like, if I get an RFQ and then we'll have money, then we'll take that money and purchase. Maybe the RFQ was in my entity, and then we'll take that money that we put aside and buy the whatever is needed, and then we'll take the money back, and then including profit, put it aside, and then share the profits.
I don't know if you were talking about an RFQ, because then if you talk about investing money and sharing profits, it would suggest that we are beyond the RFQ stage. I understand an RFQ being a request for quotation.
Yes.
And this is where an entity submits a quotation in response to a public invitation, and then the quotation is successful or not successful.
Yes.
So in that process, until a determination is made, there are no profits to share as such.
Of course, yes.
So the RFQ does not provide.
Yes.
It's only if the quotation is accepted and then the award is made and the job executed that we can start talking profits.
Of course.
Okay. So now you say that the relationship you had with Mr. Maumela is that you would both invest and then share profits. And you say that with regard to an RFQ, having accepted then what is my understanding of an RFQ, would it be fair to say that following the submission of RFQs, you have been awarded certain public work from which you derived a profit?
Can you please repeat that question?
You indicated that both of you would invest and then derive profits. And you said so with reference to an RFQ. Now, since you and I agreed what an RFQ is, just a request for quotation, which may be accepted or rejected by the entity. We have reached that point, right? We agree. So now I ask, is there any RFQ that was accepted on the basis of which you provided the work that was required or the goods that were required, from which you derived a profit that you shared?
Of course there was.
Which ones are those? Can you start listing them, please?
I can't. It's a plenty. I can't.
Okay, now which
Not
is...
that I don't want to. I'm saying is medical equipment, and then I do not... I would say a stethoscope, as for example, maybe quantity of the stethoscope, different medical equipment.
Okay, let's do it differently. Let's talk about the entities that issued the RFQs. Which entities are those that you responded to and were successful?
I wouldn't know about these entities. I will only refer to my entities.
No, sorry, by entity, I mean, who issued the RFQ that you were successful
No,
in?
he will do it on his own, and I'll also do it on my own.
Mr. Matlala, the government entities that invited.
Or the government entity.
The government entities that invited.
I'm sorry. Yes, yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's a Department of Health.
Okay. Now, is that the National Department of Health or Provincial Department of Health? If it is the latter, which provinces?
Gauteng.
So it's just the Gauteng Department of Health.
Yes, I think so.
Nothing national.
I'm not sure whether I did national. I'm talking about what I know. I don't know.
I'm interested in when you remember we are discussing your joint efforts here.
No, myself, I don't know anything about national.
Okay, so then in respect of the Department of Health, what did those RFQs require? If you could just, whatever you can recall.
Medical consumables.
Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Now, when was the first RFQ? I'll take it that is an estimation on your part. Then when was the last?
I was not keeping, I don't know, let's say 2019, 2018.
2018, 2019.
2018, maybe.
Okay. Now, were there so many that you can't even recall whether there were 2, 3, 15, 25?
Yeah, there was quite a lot.
Where you were successful? I'm interested in the ones you were successful, not the efforts you made.
No, mine collectively I'll say for 3 years, they were under 5 million rands. So it's not a lot.
That's you quoting alone.
Yes.
I'm interested in you and Mr. Maumela.
No,
remember
we are not. I think maybe I've explained this wrong.
Okay.
We are not in a joint. There is a money that is somewhere there. So whatever you get is yours. Whatever I get is mine. And then from that money that you borrowed, that's where you will, depending on how much you borrowed from that money. I'm not saying his companies, I was benefiting from them, or my companies, I was benefiting from them.
Okay. Why use your own money? You have a fund of for 2 million that's sitting with the main supplier.
But I'm saying if it exceeds what you have there.
No, it's not exceeding. It's smack bang 2 million.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what is the question?
You use up that 2 million for your 4 RFQs in the example given by
Yes.
Commissioner Baloyi.
Yes.
You provide whatever is required in terms of each RFQ. The total cost is 2 million. So you have expended that entire fund held by the main supplier. Correct?
Of course, yes.
The Department of Health and on time as required by the PFMA pays you as the contracting party what is due to you in terms of the contract, and the profit you are going to make out of all 4 is 500,000. So it pays you 2.5 million. Correct?
Yes.
So in that instance, do you return 2 million back to the fund?
Of course.
And then of the 500,000, you give Mr. Maumela 10%.
Of course.
Then that 2 million stays there again and you get to use it. So that's why I said the benefit he derives from extending 1 million loan to you is 10% of the little profit you make. That's what he gets out of it.
So the profit will always depend on the 10% will always depend on the profit.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Matlala, there's something I don't think you have factored thus far. If you have, you'll correct me. The main supplier, as you call it, will have invoiced you for 2 million in this example. The 500 times yes, times 4. And therefore, the 200, the main supplier has to be paid the 200 rand, 200 million rand. So
2 million rands.
2 million. Oh, 2 million. Oh, gosh, yeah. And so that 2 million is gone, so to speak, because the main supplier must get money for the goods supplied. So to continue having 2 million in the account held by the main supplier, you would have to pay in another 2 million, or not?
I agree.
Yes. So that 2 million is gone. And that actually would take us to one of Ms. Sello's earlier questions, which would be, now this 2 million has been used up by you.
Yes.
In respect of your contracts. What does that mean? Does it mean Mr. Maumela would have lost the 2 million? Or I think you did ask such a question earlier.
The 1 million, yes.
Yeah. But we were talking, the 1 million, he's half of the 2 million.
But
or how would you, between the two of you, work that out? Because that's far, I think the main supplier's invoice was not factored into the discussion or the debate.
Can I answer?
Yes, please.
It's not lost entirely because you're going to buy, you use that money to get stock. So as soon as the department pays you back, they're going to take the 2 million back. So it would be lost, yes, for maybe that period while you're waiting for that payment. As soon as you get the payment, then the money will be back to the main supplier's account. So I cannot say he lost his money, but for that period while waiting for the payment, yes, I will say only for that period. That's when I will say the money is gone. But we know that you're gonna get your money back.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, so now we know you had two main suppliers with Mr. Maumela. That much we've established, correct?
One main supplier who owns two companies.
Okay. So the payments that you and Mr. Maumela make, is it to the one main supplier who distributes to his companies, or do you also make payment directly to any one of the two companies?
Yeah, to any of the two companies, yes.
You make directly?
Yes.
Okay. So are we talking about three companies or two?
The main supplier owns two companies. The main supplier.
Is a main supplier a company or a human being?
He's a human being who owns two companies.
Okay. So then who's this main supplier? Perhaps if I have a name for him, I'll be able to distinguish him from the other companies. Who's this main supplier?
I'll give you the name of the company. The name I cannot give it to you. And earlier I mentioned that I might be under investigation. I can give you the name.
Why can't you give the name?
Just in case, because I said chances are I might be investigated. We cannot rule out that I'm not investigated. During my tea break, I checked on is there now? We can show it to you on the computer. They say I am investigated. The thing is I cannot prove it, but...
We have established one thing. Yesterday, you suggested you were under investigation. You undertook to provide documentation to prove you are under investigation. The document you provided does not demonstrate that you are under investigation. Thus far, the Commission has got nothing before it to even suggest that you are under any investigation regarding these issues, your relationship with Mr. Maumela. So we don't work on the basis that on the off chance that you might be investigated. You are either under investigation or you are not. Thus far, you haven't established that you are. Do you accept that?
No, I don't accept that, Commissioner.
How have you established that you are under investigation?
From the then NDPP, he said it himself. So, and then I saw it on I can ask my legal counsel now to show it to you on the computer. Is there.
To show me what? Why didn't you provide? You provided us one document.
I'm sorry, Commissioner. I just checked that now during tea break. When I was searching for any investigation that I can find.
Yes.
So before that, the only thing that I could find is that which I accept that I am not for that that SIU document. For that, I accept that I'm not under investigation.
Okay.
I'm not disputing that. However, I said because I cannot prove that, it does not mean that I'm not under investigation.
Okay, then you say you found something on the computer. We will check it during lunch. But for our purposes, can you describe the nature of this document you found that confirms that you're under investigation?
No, it's an article made by the NDPP.
Okay. When and what does it say precisely, and what crime are you being investigated for?
For the Department of Health, it's from, I think by then he was the head of SIU.
What are you being investigated for, Mr. Matlala? If the NDPP says you're under investigation, it
Yes.
should at least tell you what you are being investigated
For
for.
tender fraud.
Okay.
Mr. Matlala, perhaps to assist us, you should clarify this. Looking at the arrangement you have told us about, your arrangement with Mr. Maumela, depositing money with a supplier to then use funds out of that fund for the purposes that you have explained. Nothing immediately tells me from where I'm sitting that there is criminality about that. I'm not saying there isn't. But sitting where I am, nothing jumps out of your testimony to tell me that here's the criminality. So I find it very difficult to understand your standpoint that you are being investigated about this specifically, and for you to then refuse to answer the last question that Ms. Sello put to you. Do you want to comment on that?
Yes, please, Commissioner.
Yes, please.
Chairperson, I'm sorry. Chairperson, it's because the investigation, I wouldn't know how wide would the investigation be, and I wouldn't even know that which or who are they going to interview or cross-examine. I don't know that, and I do not want to give up names of people who also I might incriminate. I do not want to do that. The question that I was asked from the chair, from the commissioner, is my relationship with Mr. Maumela, which I was willing to comment on that. So, but anything that has to do with the investigation, I do not want to dwell on that.
You see, the difficulty then is your response has a good few I don't knows, I don't know. And you are not able to pinpoint criminality to which you might be subjected, and for you to then be in a position to assert the privilege against self-incrimination. So, cut a long story short, I fail to understand the basis, if you are indeed asserting the privilege in this context. So I do not understand the basis for it. You remember our debate yesterday about the need for you to identify specific criminality and to, on the basis of that, claim the privilege. So it's on that basis that if you say, I don't know, and you are not identifying a specific crime, I don't quite get how you are claiming or asserting the privilege. You want to comment?
Chairperson, I want to ask that if there is an ongoing investigation.
As a reference at the bottom, loan repayment, it is from Mr. Vusimuzi Matlala -Med. The payment was actioned on the 10th of December 2024, and it appears to be for R1 million. And it's made in favor of, is it Vusimuzi factors? Now, is that a payment you made to Mr. Mutsumi?
Yes, no.
It says loan repayment. Is this in satisfaction of the R5 million loan?
Yes.
Okay. I want us to, we are now in December 20. 2024, are there any business ventures you are considering at this point with Mr. Mutsumi?
At this point,
Yes, in December 2024.
no,
No.
no.
So you're not discussing any further business ventures?
except the 20 million loan, right? We're not talking about the 20 million loan.
Now, that would come later in the chats. It is reflected there, but it's later in the chats. I'm interested in the time period. This is December 2024. According to these chats, I was just inquiring whether are there any business ventures you were then discussing with Mr. Mutsumi in December 24.
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So then if we go to page 58, let me just check something, Chair, reductions. At page 58, the first block, the first communication, this would appear to be from Mr. Mutsumi. It's dated the 12th of December 2024. And this appears to be an access code to a property. The estate has been redacted. I trust that you have it in your copy.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Is that Mr. Mutsumi's residence?
Yes, it is.
So this is a visit you were paying to Mr. Mutsumi?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And then this is followed by a number of telephone conversations between yourself and Mr. Mutsumi. And at page 60, the third block there in green, which would denote it's from you. You say, good day, sir. Just wanted to let you know that I'm back, and whenever you are available, I would like to see you. This is the 31st of December, 2024. And if you go further down, once again, the third green block on that page, you say, can I please have, no, can I stop there? The 31st of December, 2024. So you wanted to see him then, I take it just for a casual visit? Or by this point, had you been discussing some business ventures?
It should be the 20 million loan.
Sorry?
I'm saying it should be the 20 million loan.
It should be.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you say it showed. So you want to see him here because now by the 31st of December, you are pursuing a 20 million rand loan. Correct?
Yes,
Did he offer it or did you ask for it?
I asked for it.
And you asked because you knew that he could afford to advance such a loan to you?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Now, staying on page 60, at the third block, once again, it's the 5th of January, 2025, you say, can I please have access code, to which he responds, it doesn't work at the gate 4. So that's another visit you are planning here. Do I understand that correctly?
Yes, I see.
And I take it you are going to say that you are going to discuss the 20 million loan.
I'm not saying that,
okay.
Advocate Sello. I
Then
wouldn't remember every time when I went to him because I didn't go to Mr. Mutsumi once or twice. But what I know is that we were discussing about the loan. So, but that day, when it was about the loan, I'm not quite sure.
Also, it could potentially have been about the loan or something else.
Yes, I think so.
Okay. And would it be safe to guess that, of course, you won't recall what that something else could potentially have been?
I cannot recall because
Yeah.
it does not even show here.
Yes. Now, if we go to page 61, at the bottom, there's an annexure SM2 that appears at your page 828. That's a 1.5 million rand payment, once again to Vusimuzi factors from Black AK Trading and SAP. That is now the other company, the other entity of your entities, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
As a matter of interest, before we look at the repayments, how did Mr. Mutsumi make the payment of 5 million to you? Was it in one transaction like an EFT as you are doing your payments, or was it in installments?
I think he paid maybe 4 million first and 1 million after, but it was 2 payments if I remember well.
And those would have gone into your account or into the account of Black AK Trading or Medicare?
To Medicare, that I remember, yes.
Okay. And then if we go further, still staying with the big file, at 829 is another payment by Medicare, once again to Vusimuzi factors, and this time for 1.5 million. So by now there are 2 1.5 million payments and 1 million were at 4 million.
Yes.
And this is between the 10th of December and the 4th of February, 2025. You have repaid 4 million of the original 5 million rand loan.
To your honourable self and your fellow commissioners, that he's invoking his fair trial right. He's also indicated to you that he's not a lawyer and he doesn't know, simply put, about how lawyers deal with these various issues. I understand the approach you've discussed yesterday with reference to paragraph 109 and what's further. And I go back to maybe a little bit to what I've referred to earlier today. When one deals with somebody's Section 35 rights, it goes much further than purely the right to self-incrimination, which is the right that you're being afforded under the 47 Act. There's a right that you've got, for instance, to adduce, and put it the other way around, to challenge and produce evidence. There's a right to challenge inadmissible evidence, etc., etc. Now, those rights, you cannot simply ascertain by looking at an indictment or at a charge sheet. Those are issues, legal issues, evidentiary issues that's dealt with by counsel and attorneys during the course of a trial. So what I'm saying to you, and again with respect, not in the sense that you think I'm doing it, I'm saying this really with respect, is that to say that you have to revert to the judgment wherein Mr. Chief Justice Yafta gave the judge. If you look, for instance, I think it's paragraph 111, he clearly states that what he says in 109, he deals with specifically in relation to the fact that Mr. Zuma was subpoenaed at that point. At no stage, and please, if you can, if I do understand this judgment correctly, I would bow to your superior interpretation of this. But this judgment at no stage dealt with your other constitutional rights. At the time, as I said to you, when Section 3(4) was enacted in the Commissions Act, there was no such thing as a constitution. We didn't have a constitution that's been time and time ruled by the Constitutional Court to be the superior law of the country. Those fair trial rights an accused person or a suspect down the line can assert in a court of law has been crystallized almost on a case-to-case basis and very often goes beyond what is contained in Section 35. I cannot foresee any situation where reliance, where Section 3(4) of the Commissions Act would simply swipe away or brush aside you as an accused person ascertaining before a commission of inquiry your other rights under Section 35. More so because that's not a right. Your Section 35 rights is not suspended or cease to exist the moment you, for instance, appear before the commission. Those are rights that you can invoke consistently. Because what we've got now, and I've not come across a case, and as I said, Zuma's case is a totally different kettle of fish, where a person that sits in Mr. Matlala's position had to invoke these rights. It's been dealt with in other forums. But right now, and it goes back to maybe where we started this morning, it's not, it doesn't fall within, I would respectfully submit, his realm of knowledge as a legal practitioner to understand exactly what rights can be invoked at which specific time. That's why I go and I say, the rights that you are entitled to as an accused person and a suspect are far wider than the single right that you are afforded under 3(4) of the Commissions Act. And to ask him to now go with specific reference to that and to that issue that's referenced in a single paragraph that's maybe explained is, I respectfully submit, unfair for the reasons that I've submitted to you right now, because it's not, let me stop there at this point.